horrifying scenes from the heart of the national capital, barely a few kilometers away from Rashtrapati Bhavan, came to light today. In this case, a speeding Thar SUV mowed down two pedestrians near Rashtrapati Bhavan, killing one on the spot and leaving another one seriously injured. Now, according to eyewitnesses, the victims were walking on the road when the speeding Thar rammed into them. And the alarming thing is that the body kept lying at the accident spot for hours. In fact, a case has now been registered at the Chanakyapuri police station, and the driver in this case has been taken into police custody. Now, police have also recovered liquor bottles from this SUV, which had been bought barely 2 months ago and also bore a swastika symbol. In fact, the impact in this accident was so severe that the front wheel of the vehicle came off. Now, forensic teams have also been going through evidence in the vehicle. This tragic incident occurred in one of the most tightly guarded areas in the country, a zone with zero tolerance for any kind of traffic violation, in fact. And still, this shocker coming to light today. Now, I also have Ved Bhushan, former ACP Delhi, and AP Bahadur, former Chief Engineer from the Ministry of Road and Transport, joining us here. Thank you, gentlemen, for giving us your time on News 9. Now, my first question to you is, Ved Bhushan, that, how could a speeding vehicle break all the norms and cause such tragedy right in that area where there's such strict zones? I mean, what gaps are there in enforcement?
Ishita, this is the best road of Delhi, Mother Teresa Crescent Road. Well-lit road with all divider and all precautions, red light and everything. That's why I'm saying this is the best road in Delhi, not in Delhi, but in India, that I can say. And despite Supreme Court's several strictures, several observations, they say life, suicide, human bomb. The persons intoxicated and running a car, bus, anything driving is a human bomb. And more or less, they say suicidal bombers. And in one court order, virtually a death machine on the road. If a person is drugged and not in control of the vehicle, it is just like a bomb. Despite very important cases, Salman Khan cases you are telling, Pune Porsche case, BMW, Sonica, but despite it, all such reports are coming from different parts of India. But this case is very sensitive and delicate because one side there is a very close to proximity with Prime Minister's house, and it is next to President house, and this is the well-known road. All the airports traffic goes, very important person, BBI persons, all routes are there. Despite it, this accident is eye-opening. There's some lacuna in the law because the new law, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, there was some stricter provision in this act, but due to some pressure by the associations of truck drivers and all that, this is still hold on. It needs more stricter action, enforcement to be needed more by the traffic police or by the local police. But the intoxication is a very serious offense, not only in India, but across the world. But there is no check and balance. The person that coming from in the morning hours from hotel or some bottles were found in his car, it shows that he was heavily drunk. It will be determined at the RML hospital where the death what took place and the accused were medically examined. Blood samples will tell. FSL report will tell that what was the speed of the vehicle at the time of accident. Lot of investigations are yet to be done. We had to wait what takes place. Most important thing is it amounts to culpable homicide not amounting to murder. That leads to 10 years conviction or imprisonment. That's why I'm telling you, let's wait and what the investigation do and what the court's perspective or the court judgment or the court, what the court takes its place, whether it's a single life or a very less important person. Let the wait for the investigation is over because police is taking all investigation as you are showing the FSL report and forensic and all that thing is going on. Let us wait for the outcome of the investigation and how court it takes. Over to you, Aditi.
All right, Mr. Bhushan. Now, let me also bring in Mr. Bahadur into this story. Now, according to data, sir, that we have from Delhi Police, about 503 hit-and-run cases have been reported in Delhi, and this is just in a span of 4 months in this year. precious lives getting lost due to such accidents. I want to understand, is the deterrence not strong enough in such cases? And if not, then what are the measures one can take here?
You see, when we are dealing with road safety issues, whether it's a urban road or intra-urban road, there is two basic approaches. One is the prevention and the other is reduction. Now, in this case, we cannot totally eliminate the occurrence of, let's call it road traffic crashes rather than accidents. So, road traffic crashes cannot be eliminated altogether. But in this particular case, what could be the disturbing aspect is that the victim was lying for an hour on the road itself without getting any medical attention. And obviously, the golden hour, as we normally call it, if any accident victim gets medical attention within 1 hour's time, his chances of survival are very bright. So it's really surprising in such a high security area. How come that there was no indication and no information for the police personnel for or rather they sending the ambulance and giving them medical attention. The other aspect is because whenever any accident takes place, there are three factors attributed to it broadly: human factor, vehicle factor, and road factor. Now, in this case, all the combination of, because our driving culture and driving behavior, of course, is quite poor. We don't find encouraged to observe the traffic rules, and the enforcement is also quite weak, because if this gentleman, the driver, was driving with alcohol, we don't know yet, but if it is, then there should have been enforcement to really check those things. Another aspect is the engineering aspect, because in this case, normally the pedestrians are made to walk in a space which is protected from the moving vehicles. It has been found that if any pedestrian gets stuck by a vehicle at the speed of 30 kilometers per hour, his chances of survival are quite good. But if he gets stuck with a speed of 50 kilometers per hour, his chances of survival are quite weak. Now, therefore, in any such situation, first of all, we should provide a sidewalk for pedestrians to walk along the road, which is somewhat protected from the vehicular traffic. So you can do it by providing a pedestrian guardrail or some other measures. So in this particular case, it was, I think, either the dozed off as the driver is claiming, or he was under the influence of alcohol. Obviously, the vehicle has wavered from its actual path. And if, to my mind, if the medical attention would have been provided to the victim within 1 hour's time, his chances of survival would have been weak. Unfortunately, in our system of road design and development, we are not providing adequate attention, rather attention to the pedestrians, which are equal user of the road in this case. So, so if you want to protect the
Raised a
pedestrian,
very
we have.
important point here, and let me also bring in Mr. Bhushan into this conversation. The fact that a body kept lying on the road for hours in the heart of the national capital, there was no one to take action. It's very alarming to me as well. I want to understand, is it the fear about getting apprehended in the case, or is it public apathy on display? What is it here?
Exactly, Ishita. It's the morning hours when there is a lot of morning walkers and that all the traffic round the clock. There is a traffic due
Right.
to airport, due to president house, due to prime minister's house. There is a lot of persons are going. It's a public apathy. More or less, it needs public awareness, and its responsibility must be fixed individually. Whether it's a police responsibility, whether it's a driver's responsibility, whosoever is responsible in such cases, accountability must be fixed before the court, during the investigation, so that such type of accident never occur again. Every life is very important for us. Zero tolerance policy must be adhered to. Alcohol detection system in the night is to be more aggressive, especially where the five-star hotels, restaurants, Crown Place, and all that. Because this road, there are two, three five-star Taj Hotel, Moria Hotel, and other restaurants also. If the persons are coming and driving the car with consuming after alcohol, they must be properly checked. Properly alcohol testing must be done, so that severe punishment must be done to such type of offenders in the coming future. That's why it's very important. We have to follow the zero tolerance policy in the case of drivers consuming alcohol and driving the car, vehicle, or anything. That's why it needs more and more stricter punishment. That's the new Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita provided, but it is still on hold. Government is on wait and watch. But I think government must understood the situation. It's very serious and alarming, not only in Delhi, across the India. There are a lot of lives are going on due to this alcohol driving. That I can say. We must wait what the government do. But the stricture provisions is yet to be published in the public domain. It's in the law is very dilute because all the offenses more or less are bailable. I
All right.
recommend I
Stricter
from your channel
punishment is
for
what
it to
you're calling
it
for in
must be
such
non-bailable
cases.
sections.
All right, so
Yeah,
stricter
yeah,
punishment
Ashita.
is what you're calling for. Now, let me also bring in Mr. Bahadur. So, we've clearly established here that there are gaps in the laws, and there are also gaps in the enforcement of these laws. I want to understand from you, what can we do to bridge these gaps?
First of all, we don't pay much attention on operation of the road. First, you see, any process of development of a road, it starts from the planning and design. So first of all, we have to design the road in such a manner that it is useful safely for all the users, whether it's a pedestrian, cyclist, motorcyclist, vehicle owner, etc., etc. Now, unfortunately, in our system of design and understanding, we normally design the road or develop the road for the motorized transport only. Pedestrians and cyclists and what we call vulnerable road users are not given much attention. This is one part of it. And second part is as normally in our profession we call it 5 E's. It's engineering, enforcement, education, emergency care, and evaluation. So we are not very effective in enforcement. Our driving culture is very lopsided, rather offensive. Normally, we don't believe in observing the traffic rules and over speeding, etc. And you see, alcohol use driving is basically enforcement issue. It should be tackled, and I do not know how effective it is going to be in a city like Delhi. And city like Delhi, which is the capital city of the country, it has to be really safe. But unfortunately, the traffic data shows it otherwise. So first thing is you design the road in such a manner that it is safe for use for all categories of road users. You segregate the pedestrians and vulnerable road users from the fast moving vehicles, of course. Another part is that in urban road situation, the vehicle maximum speed limit should not be more than 50 kilometers per hour. Especially residential areas, it should be lower than that. But in our case, the speeds are quite high.